Victoria's famed Golden City, Ballarat, a part of the national network of ABC television.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm going to immediately switch over to the schematic for this, if I possibly can. Yeah, so a little bit of a backwards talk this time, because I want to move away from the computer, and I can't move backwards and forwards at the moment because I need to go back into hospital at some stage in the next couple of months. So I'm hobbling around everywhere. Anyway, so this is the schematic for the radio. It's got, this looks like the tuning gang here. The oscillator, or is this it here? I'm not sure, because we've only got part of this. We've only, I'm sure you can get better descriptions than this, but this is what Radio Museum's got. So this is the radio itself. As you can see, I'm not able to actually get, okay, there we go. So we've got a general description. That's just the transistors and the fact that it's got medium wave and long wave. This is how to align it. And yep, so it's a, where did I see, was it on here or on the other one? I think it's 470 IF, but we'll see how we go. So this is the inside of it, location of all the parts. We don't have a parts list, so I'm going to be guessing on some of the capacitors if the actual thing fires up at all. Yeah, so it is 9 volts. Where's the power coming in? These often don't show the power coming in. That's a good question. Oh, here it is down here. Yep. So of course it's going to be a positive earth to ground, I think. Doesn't show ground. That's a ground there. That's a ground there. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Oh, we have actually got the values on here, and yeah. So it's going to be 0 here tonight. So it's getting a little bit chilly in here, even though I've got the heater on. I might just turn that up a little bit. And so that should kick in a moment. Okay, so I'll go across to the bench. Is that it? I think it's that. Yep. Where are we? Yeah. So I'll just move across the bench. And the heater has actually fired up. Okay. just plug the phone in so I can monitor what's going on. That's better. And yeah, so Graham of Radio Cruncher does quite a few of these. Which, am I on that camera? Yep. And I might as well zoom the other one in. Yeah. So I'll just move these little screws. They're off of another radio I've been working on. Yeah, so I'm a bit distracted here, but I don't know whether you can see that. If it'll focus. Is that focusing? There we go. I don't know whether you can actually see. Yeah, you can see with a cutout, well, it looks like a cutout there. Come on, focus. There we go. Yeah, it looks like a cutout, but it's actually a rounded part of the plastic, and a little spring goes through it. And they're beginning to break. They go in the back of the volume control or the tone control. They're the main switch. And yeah, so they're just beginning to disintegrate. Yeah. So let's have a look at this. Well, this was ready to go anyway, this control here. You can see how it's all cracked away. And yeah, it's where the grub screw goes in. It's just disintegrated. I was lucky to hang on as long as it has. The other one on here, there's another bit of this one has disintegrated. Excuse me, has disintegrated in the past, and there's a great big screw in there. So that's the volume control. And oh great, the grub screw's fallen. Well, what has passed as a grub screw has fallen out of there. So we'll just take these knobs off before they die any further. We've got to take them off in a minute anyway. Okay. I might be able to get this one in there. Just about. Excuse me. Yeah, so they're just a fairly standard screw knob, but yeah, the brass covers have fallen off of them. This is one, and this is the only one that's come with the radio. So we'll just put these aside. I'll have to ask Graham tonight whether he's got any that he can send over for me, or if he knows of anyone who actually makes them over in the UK. So we've got our original felts, pretty dusty, but they're okay. Yeah, the dial is in pretty good condition, given that it's the top of the radio, and that'll polish up really nicely. The case itself, you can see here it's rather black, and it should be that browny colour. Even that's a bit dirty. Now I like the way that British radios have these turntables on them. although this one's a little bit stiff. It actually looks better on the camera than it does in person, but there's a little bit of damage there. Peering over a light, that's better. Yeah, it's been sort of rubbed there, and that's all right. So it's just grubby, the outer case, so that's nice. The door latch isn't latching. It's got one of these things on it, and yeah, you can see inside it. So here we've got this little latch, and watch the cup of tea. And down here it goes into a slot in there and turns, but the slot seems to be further down than it should be. Yeah, that might be a bit of a problem. So let's switch it on and see if it makes any noise or anything. Now I've actually set the power supply up. That is the volume control. Booting up, and so it's set to 8.5 volts. It's a 9-volt radio, and the current limiting is at 0.5 amps or 500 milliamps, although it shouldn't use anywhere near that. Nothing so far. It's not shorting, it's just drawing 0.09 watts. So that sounds normal. We've got some Hunt's capacitors in here, the horrible things. But they're probably all Hunt's. Ooh, okay. So it looks like the transistor is shorted or something. So we've got two leads with insulation on them, a red and a white, and we've got one which is bare. So maybe just a solder joint to the board. Have a look at that. Okay, let's get it out. So it's making a noise. That's very positive. And I believe you have to pull these out. And there's a couple of screws, although the screws are missing. And then it all comes out. Some pliers. Okay. So wedges. Interesting. Very cheap way of doing it. And this is not leather, it's vinyl. So that's a bit disappointing slightly, but Roberts, while they're a great radio, during this period they are not not luxury radios like. We'll have to take that off, I think. Is that going to come off? So it looks like we're going to have to desolder this. It's probably for a car radio or something like that, or a car aerial. So this is okay. Easy. If I can get it to come up. Oh, the whole dial glass comes up with it. Must be a trick to this. Not quite sure what it is. Maybe it just comes straight up. Oh, okay. There. Yep. There we go. Nice. That is really nice condition. Bit grubby, but yeah. Okay. So we don't need the... So, yeah. $150,000 worth of free cameras. 10,000 cameras. They were all little, whatchamacallits, the disposable Kodak cameras. I got quite a few of them. If I didn't keep any, I should have kept some. Right, so let's just desolder these. So green at the bottom, red at the top. Where are we? Move these plastic bags away from the soldering iron. Otherwise we'll have a very smelly, smoky room. And we'll just nip these off. Go. And we'll do the speaker, so it's red at the top and black at the bottom. Okay. Right. So inside isn't too bad. does have some muck down the side of it here. We can clean that off. Yeah. Yep. I'll take the speaker grill off too. In fact, it's pretty dirty down the bottom there. So there must be a way of getting this off. Maybe you just undo those. Yeah. Okay. Pop that down there. Now, okay, so we've got these tape pieces on the edges. The other one's in the cabinet. Where was it? It was up here, wasn't it? Can't see anything obvious. Down there. And these are of course all germanium ones. Which one is this? Doesn't it's an OC81. OC81. I think it's meant to be an OC81D from memory from the schematic. Now assume it is on medium wave. That is rock solid. Okay, so that's the first cab off the rank. Here's this switch. It looks like it's been out before and over tightened. Yeah, that's not that one. I do have a nut spinner for that, I think. No, not quite big enough, the metric ones, and it's quite tight as well. These are quite useful, but they're metric, so spanners next drawn down. This is the next size up. This is a 14. It's a 1/2 inch one, but I can't find my 1/2 inch spanners at the moment. I don't know what I've done with them. That was really tight. Yeah, someone's really over tightened this. So, and that is really yuck down in there. So get a brass brush onto it. I would say the shaft is seized on it. I'm trying not to scratch the paint. All my spray stuff is out in the kitchen again, but I do have some WD-40 here. Someone penetrating, I think that one's penetrating. Yeah, penetrating oil. So I can spray bits down the shaft. I'm trying to see how. Might be able to, yeah. No, I won't do this. This is sort of oil. Don't want to get it on the contacts. Don't see how it's going to work its way down though. What else do we need to do? That one's fine. And that one's a bit stiff, but it's not disastrous. And where's my brush? I'll just brush all these, even though we're going to replace them eventually. I'll just brush all this off. Yeah, these are definitely Hunt's, I think. Or ICC. Oh, yeah. Either way, they're going to be bad. Yeah, half of them are Hunts and half of them are not. Okay, that'll do. Right. And I'll get a cloth and or a tissue and clean that off. Did have a box of tissues in here. Yep. bit of retouch around there with paint if I've got anything that's matching. I think my ivory paint is whiter than this, is rather yellow. I'm trying not to rub the lettering off. Okay, so I've got that excess oil off of it. Wow, that is really jammed. I'm just turning the whole thing. Might have to do then is tackle it from the other side. This is going to come out. No. Okay, no, that is soldered to the board. Well, that's not very good design. And that one is touching the ground when it shouldn't. Right. So let's get a speaker onto it. I think it's 3 ohms, but this is 8 ohms or something, but doesn't really matter for testing. It's not as if this is a 16 ohm speaker and this is 2 ohms or something. Okay. And where's the red one? Good. Okay. Yeah. It was this one, I think, wasn't it? Yeah. Just wondering whether the problem's inside the transistor. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so the first thing we've got to do is fix this switch. And if I spray some penetrating oil down in there, we might get somewhere. Although, as I said, I don't want to get it on the contacts. So it's down there. I'll just give it a couple of moments to seep in. Disconnect our power. It's not switched on, but you never know. Yeah, there's little bits of the wrapping for the capacitors is falling off everywhere. Yeah, someone's definitely tried to do this before. No, it's not moving at all. Never had a switch quite so locked up as this one. Okay, we'll try a bit of heat on it then. Okay, 230 Celsius. Unfortunately, this defaults to 300 degrees every time you unplug it. Has that moved? Nope. So it seems to be pointing to long wave, but I don't know. Well, the flat is pointing to long wave or off. No, this isn't. That is really rock solid in there. That shaft. And it is only 6, 7 contacts. 2 or 3 there and 2 on that side. So it's only 5 contacts. Plus, I know there's 6. So we've got it's quite hot, that chassis now. So we've got these 3 wires. We've got a pink wire down there. And that goes over to there, underneath that. Then the board, it's soldered to the board there. Then we've got the 2 red wires. So I can replace it with another switch. And that red wire goes over to there. So that's what I should have picked up yesterday. There was a little drill press vise at the meeting or the market. Yeah, I wish they... Well, I guess that's reasonably easy to get off. Doing the contacts. So those 2 are contacting. In fact, they're all contacting. That could be the problem. Actually, no, they're all contacting. That one and that one. That one and that one. And that one isn't. So it's going off to the aerial. So 2 of these wires, or 3 of these wires, go off to the aerial, and the other one, green one, goes to here, which is a resistor, and pink wire goes up here, which is to an IF transformer,
The red wire goes across to the battery. That goes up to there for the power. And that's the power as well. Okay. I'm not quite sure what the direct connection to the board is though. It doesn't seem to have any contacts on it. Unless it's just there for stabilization. Yeah, someone's definitely had a go at this and failed. Because there's a piece of metal down in there. Down underneath here. And it goes through into a slot. That is bent like nothing else. That is jammed up again, or it's been twisted. This center shaft looks like it's swollen up or something. Okay. Let's continue on with our penetrating oil and the heat. Okay, so I'll just let that run down. Okay, I'll just answer this. Yeah. Pitco Tech Repairs has suggested that we take the switch out. Yeah, I can take the switch out quite easily, but I'm going to leave it in as long as possible, simply because I need a good strong vise and everything like that, and that's out in the garage. So, and it's already down to what, 3 degrees outside. So, yeah, I'm avoiding that. Okay. So we'll just leave the penetrating oil down there. I think that the switch itself will have to be replaced if we can't do this. Because, I mean, none of the contacts look broken or anything like that. But it's just the shaft. So that is the brass bit. Yeah, take it down. I don't know that it's going to get down. Yeah, maybe. I mean, if I leave it overnight, the penetrating oil will get down inside it. It is turning just a little bit with the shaft within the brass housing. So if I can work the penetrating all down it. In fact, this doesn't even look like the original switch. It's been cut off. Yeah. Okay, I'll have a look in my box of tricks, and yes, I'm going to try and get it back to the best condition I can. I'm going to have a look in my box of switches. Just hang on a moment. Way up there. I do have a box of switches somewhere. I haven't used them for a couple of years, but that's all potentiometers. Where's this one? Screws. Can't find the these switches. What did I do with them? They're in here somewhere. I'll put them in there. Coffee tin. No, I was going to put them in a coffee tin. Big coffee tin. No, they'll be in the box will be in a tub in the cupboard somewhere in here. Okay, so what do you mean chill and relax? Shame. The case is really good. So you can see the case. So it's a bit grubby across there, but that'll scrub up okay. There's a little bit of wear there. Otherwise, yeah, it's not ripped or anything like that. It's just very grubby. Okay, so I'll have to find the switches later. So we'll start on some of these capacitors. Yeah, someone's definitely been mucking around with this, but everything on the board is original. So what are these? They do these Hunts ones. They're bound to be stuffed up. 0.25 microfarads at, is that 15 volts? 50 volts. 150 volts. That's odd value. 0.25 microfarads at 150 volts in a 9 volt radio. Well, that's 100 at 10 volts. Elko mold. Yeah. So now where's our dodgy transistor? It's up here, isn't it? Okay, so we'll replace these two. Start with 100 at 10 volts. So I'll have a look in my tricks. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Farm tech, yeah. I'm not much older. I've got my mother's radio from England too. So what was it, 100 at 10? 100 at 10. 116, that'll do. These are ridiculously small compared to these ones. I'll try and do this without taking the board out. Okay. No, I think we're going to have to take the board out to get down in there. Yeah. Okay. I hate working on these boards because they're early and the traces come off just looking at them. So we've got a screw there, and there. So that looks fairly straightforward. And they're early Phillips ones. Too big. It's going to be too big there. Yeah, this board's never been out. Just making those very satisfying clips. Oh, thank you. come out. Okay. Good. So let's try and replace this. So positive is there. We'll see what the lady at the Roberts factory did in 1964. That. That is going to be that one. Easier just to get this soldering iron down into here. Let's pull that out. Yeah, these are Hunt's capacitors, I think. They're the black plastic ones. Electromold. Elcomold. British made, patent applied for. Yeah. Okay. And this is going to look very strange because you look at the difference in size of the capacitors. If I can get up near the camera. Where am I going? Can't see. Put my glasses back on. Yeah. So you can see the difference in the size of the capacitor. This is about tenth the size. Okay. Okay. I don't want to burn through that wire. This is a bit tricky because it's right in the corner. Come on. Where's the solder melting? Touching. There we go. Oh, I see why. The soldering iron's timed out. That's why it's not working. I've been going for an hour already. Time flies when you're having fun. Oh. I wonder if that is supposed to be bridged across. That is one of the legs of this. And why? No, that's not supposed to be bridged. Surely. Someone hasn't cut the wire or the lead off of the lead. Yeah. Okay, let's try that again. And then I'm going to lift that up. That's better. Okay. Nice. Thank you for subscribing. Much appreciated. May as well use my new cutters. So yeah, this is very awkward. In fact, that switch is going to have to come off anyway to do the other capacitor. Now, let's have a look on the schematic. I don't know whether you'll be able to see this or not. Grab this, but down in here, where are we? There we go. Okay. Yeah, under here, there is. Can I get that? Can't quite see that. Yeah, so it's that little piece across there, and it bridges to two traces. In fact, has that fallen off? I believe that's fallen off. Yeah. There's my magnifier. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely fallen off. It's gone. But as I say, the switch has got to come out anyway. But I'll leave that until we need to do that, and let the penetrating oil seep down. We'll try it now with that. I'll put that one over the top of this. Maybe it won't short together. And good. Put the speaker on it. Yeah, that was just floating around in there. I don't know where it's gone, but yeah, okay. So let's try this again. So don't think anything is out of alignment in terms of touching the chassis and shorting or anything. In fact, so we'll just try it. No. Hear a bit of hiss now. And when I'm moving that transistor around, it's not that's full volume. All right. Well, that's something at least. So we'll turn that off. In fact, what's it drawing? Is it still drawing? Yeah, it's drawing a little bit less. It's drawing 0.08 watts, and before it was drawing 0.09 watts, or 0.1 watt. So it's dropped a little bit. Okay, so we can't get to this one. This is that. Now that's a 4 microfarad. So I guess I can put a 3.3 in there. And 300 volts. Don't think so. It's not running that high voltage, is it? It's only a 9 volt radio. Okay. So I'm going to put the screws back in. Easier said than done, maybe. Oh no, it's easy. And that'll do. Just to hold it in there while we do some of the other caps. What else have we got? Don't believe that there is 300 volts floating around in this radio. Yeah, we'll do this hunt down here. MP25 at 150, and might put a. That's not polarized, that one though. And this one is 150 volts as well, and it's not polarized. So we'll do the polarized ones first. That's not polarized either. So what's this one? You can always have a look on the schematic and have a look at the layout. So I'll just go with the other computer. Okay. And so we've got this one down here and here. So I've replaced this one up here. This one's not accessible because it's underneath the switch. And I want to try and get the switch to move.
Yeah, so let's look on here. Hasn't got the voltages though. So that's 0.4, 0.04. So really want to start at this end. So 0.01. Although we should start at the power supply end, shouldn't we? So that's 100. I think this is the one we've just replaced. It's 100 too. It's a 100. So we've got 0.25 here, and that's the speaker. This is the pre-driver, and it's a push-pull output, PNP and NPN. So what's that do? There's that the power. So that is going up here through this resistor down here to the pair, and so this one seems fairly important. How can they be both OC81s if one's PNP and the other one's NPN? Anyway, so let's try and find this 0.25. That one's not. Well, that's not polarized either. So that's a polarized one. That's a polarized one. So we've got 1, 2, 3 100s there. So we'll try and do all our 100s. It's not polarized. This one here is a 10 and it's polarized. And this one here is the 2 and that's polarized. So we'll change all of those. What have we got? So I can... Where's my highlighter? Even chop that off, have they? I don't know that I can actually do anything on this. It's going to bring up the text. Why is that? So we'll do this. Okay. I was subscribed to Adobe, the full suite, but I've only gone back. I've gone back to just Photoshop, and I'm really limited with what I can do by the looks of it. So we'll just do a circle around it for now, and I'll work it out. So we'll do this one. This one. This one. And this one. And this one. We've already done one of these. Yeah. Okay. Microphones, yeah. Okay. I'm going to go and make another cup of tea and have a tinkle, and I'll be back in a few minutes. So I'll leave this up for you to study. Move this over. In fact, we've missed one down here, haven't we? And I'll bring this across so we can see the whole thing. So we're back in a couple of moments. I'll turn the microphones off so you can't hear me doing the tinkle. Okay, I'm back. Now, to find this, you go to radiomuseum.com. There. And if I open a new window, and you put in here R-300, oops, not 1000, and Roberts, and there it is. So 64 to 67, that's what it should look like, with the knobs which are not broken. I'd like one in that turquoisey colour. They came in all sorts of colours. Yeah, that's what this should look like. There's a red one, sort of a purpley colour. Green one again. It looks like a couple of these transistors have been changed, although they did lots of variations on these as things progressed. And there's the schematics. But they've only got 2 pages of the book. If you remember the British Radio Society or whatever it's called, I think you can get a CD with all the schematics on it. So I'm not a member of them. I'm a member of 2 clubs down in Victoria. Okay. What have we got? Yep. This one. Yep. So I'm going to have a bit of dessert. I'll eat this over the next half an hour or so. Okay. Let's see if we can get the switch to move. I suspect it's going to have to soak overnight or something. Yeah. No, that's going to have to be replaced. That is jam solid. Okay, so our next capacitor these 3.
we'll do this one next. And is it underneath that shield? We'll mark that where the pen went. Doing this one up here, aren't we? So that is the positive. No problem. It's probably the best site in the world, but the quality of some of the schematics isn't great. So you need multiple sources. There's also Electrokarma or something like that. Electrorama. And that's another free site. And they've got lots of schematics on there. And they're much, much clearer. And there's also an archive site. I can't remember what it is now. And they're a free download too, so you never need to pay for a schematic. In fact, you're mad if you have to pay for one. Although I have come across one or two things where none of the sites had it. If you're doing Australian radios, there is Kevin Chant, and he's over in Perth, and his site is really good. So let's try not to burn the wires. Don't know which one this is. Come on. Okay, and this one. Okay, that's out. And this is 10 at 50 volts. Okay. I think I'm okay. If you're in the UK, yeah. So there is the a CD you can get if you're in, I think it's the Radio Society or something like that. It's one of the British clubs, and you can buy a CD that's got thousands of schematics on it of all the different British radios. So I'll just get a 10 at 50 if I've got one. 10 at 50. No. 10 at 35, maybe? Yeah. I'm going to put a 10 at 35 into it temporarily. And we'll change that over. When I get some 50s. Don't use many 10s at 50, so I just order them in small numbers. So we'll need to do that. So it's negative. And it shouldn't need these high voltages. And the Japanese radios, which I do a lot of, they have only got low voltage capacitors in them. If they don't have mains on them. The wire on the new capacitor is tiny compared to what the other one was, so the holes are not filling up. Okay, so that's that one. And we'll try it again. You never know your luck. Although with these hunts and these horrible what are they called? This is a different brand again. And they're all the same. Elk mode or something. Elko mold. Yeah, there's GEC and there's Marconi, and they're yellow and red. Yeah, they're all constructed the same. They must come out the same factory. And the Hunts one versions of them, yeah, and they're all rotten, as I'll show you in a moment. But we'll try it first. I doubt it'll work, but I like to do one capacitor at a time. Up there, yep. Okay, there's a speaker. No. It's trying to work. And that sounds like something's not connected properly. And it could have whiskers on the transistors, in which case I need zapping. Could be anything wrong with it. But it is making a noise, which is promising. In fact, that could be shorting on that resistor down there. Sounds like something in the transistor itself. Okay, volume's right up. So this is the pre-driver. And these are the two outputs, I think. Is it an OC81? Yep, they're two OC81s. This is the OC81D. Right. Well, 35 volt capacitor hasn't blown up yet. Okay, let's do these two. Yeah. There's no blown resistors or anything like that. Looks okay. Okay. Do that. So don't jab myself. The wire. Yeah. These two are AF, or these three are AF 117s. Excuse me. Yeah, they could have tin whiskers on them. I think these OC81s are glass. Like this one here. I've forgotten what this one is. Oh, it's an AA129. That's an unusual one. I've never heard of that. AA129. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, so these three are four are definitely glass. And yeah, these are AF117s. And I think I've got a couple of them lying around somewhere. of the AF117s. I'll just have a look. They'll be on the desk. Okay. AC125s. These are for a national or a local radio. 2N218 and yeah, they're all more modern types. These are for another radio. This is an AF117. This is a national one, 2SA70. Yeah, they're all Japanese transistors. We've got a capacitor bank. A transistor bank, where you can order transistors. Some of them are brand new, like this one. This is an OC71. 2N 2N. No, I don't have any of the AF117s. But we can get them. The person in the club who deals with them, he tests them before he sends them out. So that's where that pilot light went. So let's have a bit of a look at this. Oh, I didn't fix this either. I keep on meaning to fix the thing on the end of there. So I'll bring you across to the other camera. And we'll test this. Ooh, 176 microfarad and 1.14 ohms is there we go. Hang on. So that is well and truly dead, and this one is the, which one is it? That's the 100 microfarad. And this is a 10 and it's 17. And the HRSA is pretty high as well. Yeah, so the caps definitely need doing. Yeah, he's got all the equivalents as well and what have you. But a lot of them are pulled from old radios, because you simply can't get them. And if you buy the Japanese one, the Chinese ones from eBay or AliExpress, or even, I don't know whether Temu sells them now, but yeah, they can be fake ones. Nothing like the originals in their characteristics. It's like capacitors. You're really taking your life in your hands when you order something off of those sites, unless you know the person, or you're buying a whole product, like a little digital amplifier or something like that, or even a little phono pre-stage. I bought a couple of each of those 2 weeks ago for clients, the work I'm doing. So there, that's all right. Okay, so do this one. Yeah, can we get to it easily? I'm going to have to pull the switch out. See if I can unsolder it from the thing, and we'll just pull it off. It's not connected to anything, is it? Ah, that is... I wonder if that's doing something. So that is hitting there. And that's an earth. Wonder. So that is touching that. So bend that back out the way. I'm on the wrong camera, aren't I? Yeah, that's not touching now. Okay. I've got my solder sucker here switched on, but I'm not sure I'll be using it tonight. So it's just wasting electricity. And it does use a lot of electricity. I really notice it when I leave it on for a couple of days. It doesn't have a timer in it. I've got to build a timer for it. Where are we? Okay. This won't have fixed it. No. Yeah. So we've gone down to drawing 7 milliamps, and 0.05 watts. Yeah. So we are, let's have a look at that while we're moving this. Yeah, it does alter the current. Put you over to the camera, and then I'll bring you down onto the power supply. Don't know whether you can see that. I'll bring it out a bit. Better. There we go. That's better. Yeah. Yeah, if you look down to the corner, if I might be able to move this up temporarily because it's not locked. It's better. If I jiggle this, it's not going to do it now, is it? Oh yeah. So it does change it. Just that little bit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a pity these cameras just don't zoom in closer. Okay. Right. What can we do next? So we'll do that one in the middle. That'll be 100. Oh, okay. This one seems to be on the power supply. Yeah. So this might make a difference. I'll put some solder on to get it started on this one. So we don't melt the wire. I think we're going to. The wires come off there. Yeah. Okay. So positive faces the transformers. Come on, out you come. Good. And this one is a secret. 1 microfarad at 10 volts. Yeah, that's easy. Okay. Solder sucker. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Straight in the bin. In fact, what am I doing? There we go. Takes a quarter of the time. If you can get it in there. I've got to get a new nozzle for that. So that was a 1, wasn't it? Yeah, 1 at 10 volts. I think. No, it's a 100 at 10 volts. Yeah. It's the sort of sticky tape or whatever they put on it, or the tape. But this one is the power, across the power. Snip these off beforehand. Okay. I don't think it's a solder joint. Something, it's more likely to be a transistor or a capacitor. So I always do all the capacitors and get rid of those because you know they're going to be bad. Then go back and have a look at the transistors. Okay. Let's try it again. That's all right. Yeah. Okay. No. It's definitely not a solder joint. Must be something. It's definitely something to do with the wiring. So if I move the transistor around, it makes that noise. Sometimes. If I actually pull on it, yeah, okay. Next one. It's getting louder, so we're doing something. Yeah. So this one. We might be able to get to. No. Okay. Let's pull this switch out. These wires as far away as possible. So we've got to get right down into, where are we? Into there, right at the very back where it's soldered to the board. Right. Okay. disconnected there. Ah, there we go. Okay, does that get us anywhere? That blue wire. And the pink wire. Okay, we'll do the blue wire first. Take a picture of that. And I think that pink wire is going to come off too. It's connected. So go, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that blue wire's got to come off for a start. And the blue wire goes up to the aerial. Okay. Just don't know how they did that. Hmm. Okay. Right, okay. And that's going to be fun to remember where it goes. Yeah, that is really rock solid, that. You can probably see how someone's tried to move the switch and bent all that there. Yeah, probably can't see because of the reflection, but that's not where it should be. Okay. And got that shield there. Yeah, okay. So, do we have to take that off? I don't think so. It's up here, isn't it? So we've got that. And yep. Okay. Where did my pen go? My Sharpie. So this is a positive there. And we've got a positive here. Okay. Then we theoretically don't have to worry about any other caps, which direction they go in. So it'll be directly across here. That it can't be connected to that. Oh no, that's the speaker wires, isn't it? Just trying to work out what we did before. Is it that one? Where's the other side of that? That's that one. And then one across here. Or is it that one? That's odd. They don't go anywhere. Okay. It's definitely no. Okay, so it's definitely on to this one. Nope. Can't be that one because we did that before, didn't we? There was only one hole. We'll put that one back there. It's definitely that. This one. I often have trouble working out where things are in the middle of the boards. So that's not that one. That's not it either. It's got to be around there somewhere. Is it further down? Is it one of these? No. Oh yeah. I'm trying not to burn the wires. That's the big problem. Probably should have taken the whole board out, but it's a bit on the messy side. It doesn't look like it's got any connections to it. This looks like the wire. Come on. Come along. That's better. It does have a hole. So it's that one. It was further over than that. Definitely something there. Excuse me. And is that it? Got some component in there. Whether it's this one or not. Don't know. Try the other side of there. And that's got solder on it. That wire too, might have dripped down from the, yeah, when I undid the switch. No, that's definitely not it. It's not budging. Wish I had a circuit layout for this. It's much easier. The Japanese, like Sony and National Panasonic, started to do it for about 1968. I think Philips did it too in Europe for about that time, and some of the German radios did that. It's when they really went over to transistors in the mid to late 60s. Where is it then? Definitely feels like it should be there. That is lined up with that, which goes there. So why isn't this coming out? Frustrating. Alright, we'll do the other one then, which is going to be even more difficult. It's up in there. So put that wire back on temporarily. But I might even desolder that red wire again. Move that switch out the way. And that went onto there. In fact, we're working over in this corner, aren't we? So that's that one. Okay. Right, that's blocked up. Yeah, this nozzle has seen far better days. Come out. It'll heat it right up. There we go. This is getting hot. Come out. That's better. And yeah, that's all right. That's up there. Okay. Well, that is right up high, so I don't need that. About 2.5 is good enough for this. So that's about 425 or something. And oh, come on. There we go. And this one is, oh, that's that 2 at 300. Okay. Don't believe 300. That is just excessive for a 9-volt radio. So we'll see if we've got anything. So we want a 2.2, don't we? There's a 2, yeah, 2.2. Uh, 22 at 50 is 2.2. Surely I've got some 2.2s. Sure, I had some 2.2s. No. I've got ones and then 3.3s and then 10s. touches the 2.2, surely. At 10, 16, 25. I wonder if that's a 2.2 at 50. This is definitely 22. Yeah. Wow. That's a bit of a bummer. .016.022 .027 .1 at 63. 3.3. These 3.3 at 63. 3.3 50, I think. Yeah, 50. Okay. Don't think we're going to get away with a 3.3. We'll see what value the 2 is. A 2 at 300. That is just, yeah. And the wires come off of this. Oh well. So we'll try this. And that's the broken. So we'll do that. No. Come on. Try and hold that there. In circuit short. Yeah, it's got a short circuit in it. Oh no, hang on. Try that again. Uh, 2.33. 2.5 ohms ESR though. Yeah, it's going to need a 2.2 in there. I'll have to go down and get a couple of caps tomorrow. We do have a local electronics shop, although it's not very good. It's started off really good, and well, not that particular shop, but it's a big chain of shops, and the electronics section is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and now it's just a little corner of the shop, and they really sell camping gear, camping lights, generators, all that sort of thing. Yeah, they do have adapter plugs and things like that though, which is often useful. So they're sort of okay, and they do sell things like Raspberry Pis. I think the 5 at the moment is with 8 gig of memory in it is $320, and I paid, was it $140 or something for my 5 with 8 gig of memory in it, and probably about $90 for the Pi, the 4s that I've got. So memory is really the killer now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is stop here. I'll have to go down and get some capacitors in the morning. I've got to go down to the shop anyway in the morning and see what they've got. I'm a bit worried about these bipolar ones, like this one and this one. What is that? It's a 150. So that's a, yeah, that is okay. I've got plenty of those for valve radios. So that's a 0.22. The ones I've got are 630 volts, but was it a 0.22? Might be able to do a couple of those before I give up. Yeah, oh, that's about the right same size. This is a 630 volt and this one's 150 volts. I want a bit of triad, but better put this in. We'll save a bit of time. That looks neat enough. Yeah, you too. Have a good day. I'm going to actually do this one because I'm going to wait till 11 o'clock at night here, which is in 2 hours, and I'll have a look in on Radio Cruncher, Graham, and might ask him a couple of questions about these, because he does these all the time. And he does a lot of Sony stuff, the 2001 Ds and the more modern ones, and he also does a lot of hackers. I've got a couple of hackers here, but they're not very common in Australia, so yeah. But I'm going to put this one in. I won't be able to test it, and then I'm giving up for the evening. But I'll be back next week on this. it does look like we can get it going. I might order, I'll take that dodgy transistor out and test that. Where's my transistor tester? Yep, got the transistor tester here. So, oh, we're on the other camera, aren't we? Sorry. Right. Okay, we're on, no. We're on this one. Okay, yeah, I've got this as well, so we can do transistors, etc. And yeah. So I forgot to change the camera back. So yeah, so I'm just filling in time until then, really. And it's so cold outside, and I don't want to heat the whole house, because this room is nice and warm. But yeah, because we're reasonably high up here. We're about 450 meters above sea level, about 100 kilometers away from Melbourne to the west, and we're just below the cloud level, the low cloud level. So it does very, very occasionally snow here, about once every 5 years. But it's not going to snow tonight. It's perfectly clear outside, so yeah. But I'm just rambling on. I'm very tired. I get very, very tired at the moment. I have to go and see the urologist in a couple of weeks and discuss a failed operation from last year. So, okay, that's enough information on that until I really know. So, we've got a line of resistors here. That's a clip, that's in there, that's in there. Should be it there. Yep. And yep, that's still plugged in. What did I say? This one? No. This one. And this one. Ow, ow, that's hot. Come out. You're loose as... Yeah. I'll just clip the end off of that. It's got some sort of burr on it. No, you can't see this. Here we go. Oh, good. Yeah. So that's which camera are we on? Yep, that one. So this is a 0.25 at. Come on, focus. I can't see. I can see clearly up to about a foot away. Or a third of a metre in the new money. Yeah. So I don't think that no, that won't test these, so I might test it on the multimeter. At least we don't have the horrible glue which was stuck on so many Japanese boards. Is that too thick for that hole? No, that's all right. Oh, there we go. Too easy. Okay. Not quite so tight as I thought it was in there. I'll trim those off and then bend them down, I think. I'll take that out. Usually keep these sort of lengths of these leads. They make great jumpers when you're building something like a circuit or something like that requires jumpers. Did I chop that off too close? Maybe. Oh no. It's better. Yeah. So I'll ring Pete too during the week, and so we've got a meeting on this coming Saturday. So we had our market day yesterday, and next week we've got a meeting. It's not a normal meeting, it's Standard Communications Museum. They've just reopened it. It's all gee whiz bang modern displays and all that sort of thing. Before it was a bit of a just a floor of an old telephone exchange where they had random bits of telephones and the switchboards and all the relay boards and all that sort of thing. And that was really interesting for someone like me, but they've had a government grant and they've sort of made it very modern, and you got yeah, it's open most days of the week now. Before it was only open one Saturday a month and things like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing that next week, see what they've done. Yeah, so I'm going to turn all this off and go over to the computer. And I'll have a look at my website or YouTube channel of the week, and we'll have a bit of a preview of what Graham's doing, which is what I normally do each week. So we'll do that. Graham should have his standby thing on. Countdown or whatever you like to call it. Oh. Need to lie down, I think, for an hour or so. Okay, let's have a look at what Graham's doing. Yeah, watched you before, Techmoan. Yeah, they're scrapping a whole bunch of 45-year-old trains down in Melbourne, and yeah, they're just cutting them up for scrap metal. When I was thinking that they need to make. I'll just open a new window. Make emergency accommodation out of it, but then I thought a couple of the carriages I've been in, when the so he's doing Roberts, so he's doing an R-727. There we go. Yeah, so they get extremely hot even on when it's about 25 degrees, and it gets easily up to 42, 43 in the summer, sometimes 47. And yeah, and on a night like tonight, they'd be absolutely freezing. So they've got they've got really, really big windows, and they've got really big, really, stainless steel sides and only plastic inside. So you have to modify them quite a bit to keep the heat in and out. What do you want? Graham, we'll have a look at that. So, yeah, Aaron's in already. He's always in early. Yeah, so he comes in, says hello, and then he goes off and plays his video games, and then comes back. Yeah, okay. So go back, and yeah, they're really nice radios, except they over here, to get one in even half decent condition, you've got to pay $100 because they're not very common. Once I've cleared all the backlog of my own stuff here and worked on all the radios for everybody else, as I'm paid to do this, so I'll get Graham to send one over. What do we want? Okay, so Who was I going to promote? I was Video 99. So he's doing a Trio Kenwood cassette deck at the moment. I think it's a Nakamichi chassis, but of course it's got all the Trio bits, circuit boards and everything like that in it. He's worked on the auto stop this week, so yep. And he's got how many videos? 435. He works mainly doing video transfers over in England. I think he's down the southwest. He's done these boom boxes. He's done a couple of old radios there. But he mostly works on professional video recorders or, you know, mini camcorders and that sort of thing. Mini disc there. Soap dispenser. Forgot about that. Yeah, did that a year ago. Yeah, friend of mine in Canada had one of those. They weren't the best cars in the world. So he's got an Avenger, is it a Chrysler? I can't remember what it was branded. We had the Japanese Lancer. We did get a couple of those though. I forgot what they were called. Just remember the tail lights, but they weren't all that common. Then we had the what we called the Sigma and the Magna. So that was a Mitsubishi product. Yeah, thermal imaging camera. Yeah, mostly does video stuff. Oh, that reel-to-reel dictation machine looks really good. In fact, I think that has a big cartridge in it. So motion sensors, yeah. One of those things. Yeah. I've never had a problem with them. What I showed you before. I didn't know Video 2000 had pre-recorded things. Yeah, there's Shinings on there. My friend had a Video 2000. I can't remember which model it was. It might have been maybe a 1700 or something like that. But it broke down and he just threw it in the bin. I was so angry with him. And he threw out a really perfectly good rare Panasonic radio cassette. Because it stopped working one day. Yeah. Yeah, he does a couple of things. Like, oh, excuse me. Yeah, STK modules, they're a disaster. Yeah. Breakout board, things. Beta machines. I've got a big beta machine. In fact, I've got, is it that one? No, it's not that one. I've got an SL9 in the garage. Sony. Yeah, they were rebadged Panasonic, those things. Oh no, it's a 2000 portable. Video 2000, yeah. And so on. That is really interesting, that. If you ever get time to watch it. Hillman Avenger, that's what they were called. Yeah, so he goes quite a long way back. 8 years he did his first video. Laserdisc. Got a couple of laser discs somewhere. Okay, so where are we? Okay, so thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be continuing this next week. I'll go down to the shop tomorrow or Tuesday. I have to go down somewhere and put a start to fix a radiogram, which is too big to move and too heavy. So I'm not allowed to drive at the moment, so I'm not bringing a whacking great Philips radiogram or HMV radiogram back on the bus. I mean, it's possible, but it's. I don't think the bus drivers would be very happy. And yeah, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, etc. And I'll see you either on Graham's stream. A couple of people here look like they're going across to Graham in a minute, or in an hour and a half or so. And yeah, so I'll see you all next week. I'm not doing any standalone videos at the moment because of my health. I just can't. I'm not up to it. But yeah, I'll hopefully get back into that. Got a few projects half done with that. So yep, I'll speak to you all next week. Thanks for tuning in. And I'll go back to, where are we? Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, all right, thanks very much for